First, I want to welcome everybody that's come in to see us. We're so happy to have all these guests here in Waco today. I don't have much to say, but I think a lot of you are workers in parties and party chairs. If it doesn't cause people to vote, don't spend time on it. We got to get everybody to vote. First, I'm going to introduce our State Board of Education candidate, Tracy Fisher.
Good morning, rural Texas. I'm Tracy Fisher, and I am running for the State Board of Education in District 14. That includes 19 counties. It starts at the Red River. It goes south all the way down Coryell and McLennan County. To the west, it is Palo Pinto, Eastland, and everything east of that. To the east, it's Navarro. And then it has a big cutout so that it actually forms a big letter G for gerrymandered. So I may or may not be your candidate, and if I'm not, I'm sorry, but I will tell you that I am going to work hard for all of Texas public schools. There are only 15 state board members, and we have big districts, so we have to fight for all of our kids. I just want to say that I am a native Texan. I'm a proud military daughter. I was raised in the military. We moved a lot of places in Texas. I was born in Hereford. I moved to Harlingen. Then we moved to Waco, to Connally Air Force Base. Then we grew up in San Antonio, and then we went to, my dad got back from Vietnam, and we took off and went across the country to Germany, Belgium, back to Nebraska, and then I got back to Texas as soon as I could. My husband and I have lived in North Texas with our kids for 30 years. So I'm just a proud Texan, fifth generation, and so I'm very proud of that. I am running to make sure that Texas public schools are a priority. As a military brat and as someone who's served in my local community for more than 25 years as an engaged parent, and the last 10 of which I've served as a school board member in my local area, I know how important our communities are. I'm a master trustee. That means that I've had the opportunity to travel the state of Texas and go to lots of different schools. I had a cohort of folks that I trained with that were from small districts, really large districts, and everything in the middle, and we visited all over the state of Texas. And I just want to say every community matters, every school, every child matters, and we've got to make sure that we are educating all of our children and not just over testing and adding more standards every year to the state board. The state board is responsible for they write all the curriculum. They don't write the curriculum, but they are responsible for the standards. They tell us what standards we have in Texas education. They tell us what our teachers need to know in order to teach. They tell us what instructional materials we can use. So this is an important position. They also manage a $50 billion permanent school fund, which is a lot of work, and it also requires people that have fiscal responsibility, which I do. I had worked professionally at Frito-Lay and as well as LSG Sky Chefs. Back in the day, my husband and I flipped a coin to see who would stay home with the children, and I got that privilege or that opportunity, whatever you call it, and I've never looked back, just volunteered in the community the whole time. As a school board member, I've seen how much the state has taken away from the local control. I've seen how much the politics have infiltrated our schools. And I know a lot of rural districts, you may be scratching your head about what do you mean our teachers are doing the wrong thing, or we're not teaching history, or we have to ban books, because it just doesn't make sense. And that's not what we are. We don't need those politics in our public schools. And that is something that I will fight hard to keep out of our public schools. The other thing the state board is they have the responsibility they can override any new charter that the commissioner would want to put into place. And I really think the state board also needs to look at overriding some of the expansions that are happening now, because they are handing charters out like candy, and they're putting them in districts that don't need that kind of help. And so it's draining the education pot for all of us. And we've got to know, I absolutely do not support vouchers in our Texas public schools. That would we would destroy our Texas public education system. And I really believe that that's what they want to do. So I have 4 priorities. One is to retain our professional educators and make sure we have a great pipeline to replace and to grow new. I want to make sure that we are rethinking public education, right? We are over-testing and we have too many standards, and our teachers and our kids are dying. We need to focus more on deep learning. And I'm not talking about, I'm talking about project-based learning, things that really make you walk away, graduate, where you have the ability to manage your way out of a paper bag, you know, in finances and everything. We just really need to make sure our kids are that are contributing adults, whether they go to work or to a trade or to the military or to a college afterward, it doesn't matter. Every child's different and every situation's different. We need to help support all kids to realize their dreams, and our teachers are so important in that effort. I also want to make sure that we are reinvesting in our public schools and not in our charters and vouchers. And then the 4th thing is I want to make sure that we re-engage with our parents, right? A lot of our parents in some of our schools haven't really been in our schools. If they were in our schools before and they're confused, if they have a 3rd grader or below, they've been away and they're just being confused by all of this propaganda. And we've got to get our parents back in our schools, helping understanding what's going on and getting that trust built back. You know we sit in church next to our teachers. We know our teachers are just like our communities are. We are a reflection of the community. So that's super important. Again, it's Tracy Fisher. I'm running for State Board of Education District 14. You'll have to find out if I'm in your district, but there are 19 counties, and I would really appreciate your vote. My opponent wants to protect the innocence of children. So do I. So do you. We all do. But that's not enough to run for State Board. She's also a homeschool parent, and she ran for a local school board race up in Frisco last year, and she lost, and so she decided she'd run for the State Board of Education. She's never taught in Texas. She doesn't know anything about our Texas public schools, and I'm a Texan, so please vote for Texas, Tracy. Thank you.